Okay, are you able to see my screen? Someone just say yes or no.
Yes.
When I do it full screen, now also?
Yes.
Okay, very nice.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get started. Uh, very quickly about me. I am a semiconductor professional. I work in one of the top semiconductor MNC of the world, where I manage a small research team. So, a market is like my part-time activity. One disclaimer: I am not a SEBI registered advisor. I do not claim that I am expert. I am just sharing what has worked for me and what has worked for my close friends and family. I'm in the market since 2017, and I think I have tried a lot more things, many things. And later on, I decided, I will go on the technical aspect of the market. Fundamental investing is something not my cup of tea. I just don't understand it. I have did my hard work on the fundamental side also, but never got anything on that. And I got into development of since 2020. Somebody wants to join. Yeah, I get into this thing from 2020 from the algo development, and finally the thing worked for me is rotational momentum with the concept of equity curve trading. So my thoughts are not really original. They are influenced by many people. I think everybody knows the name of Mark Pradeep Bonde, that is our stock B. Christian Kulamagi, that is Kwalmegi, people know it. In the Indian names, it is Alok Jain and Manish Dhawan, who has really really influenced me by their momentum stuff. And on the momentum side, I'm a big fan of the Andrew Cleanave. His book on the stock on move has created a big difference on my investing and trading journey. This was the quantitative momentum from Gray, and before that, couple of articles. I think they also have influenced me at all. This is just a short note about me. So again, before I start, unfortunately, I got some DM here and there, some critical messages. I just want to clear, again, I'm not expert. I'm just sharing something which has worked for me. So it's up to you how you take it. No point, finding faults in this system. Okay, so start with, what is dual ATR? So it is nothing great. The dual ATR is the name just given by me. Why it is dual ATR? Because it uses the two ATR stops. The ATR stop is, I think it is a very default indicator. First time I found in trading view only somewhere. Today morning I tried to find it again, but I didn't get the exact one. But the thing is, it is nothing. Basically, one ATR you use for the buy signal, another ATR you use for the sell signal. And I think it is in very similar to the super trend. There also you use the ATR and that period kind of thing. So as per the indicator is concerned, it's not a big deal. It is just a combination of two ATR stops. Okay. So as I said, there are just two different settings for buy and sell. So when we buy with respect to the buy ATR and we sell respect to the sell ATR. Okay. So next 1 hour, half an hour, whatever it time takes, this is what the summary of this concept is. Okay. I will elaborate on each of these things. First thing is, uh, we will trade in the market when the broader market is in the up move. So what happens? This is what my observation is. Every Tom, Dick, Harry makes money when the broader market is moving up. But the people who make wealth, who make and keep the money in the market, are the people who are able to get out of the market when there is a severe correction or the crash. And in my experience, that's where all the difference come. And I will just show you from the data also. In fact, when the broader market is up, pretty much it doesn't matter what stocks you're choosing. I'm not saying, you start choosing like S Bank or Suzlon and all, but pretty much you just pick up any, top 20, 30 random stocks, make a portfolio and let it run. You won't be disappointed. Okay. So for the timing of the market, I use dual ATR with the triple 1 2 setting on the mid small 400. I use this index to trade. The reason why I use it, because this is a type of momentum investing, and always the momentum is observed mostly in the mid and small cap space only, and definitely from micro cap also. But for the timing part, I use mid small 400. Okay. So the rules are very simple. On every Friday, you just see, agar if you are already invested and the index closes below the sell ATR, just sell everything, sit in cash. If you are already in cash and on Friday index closes above buy ATR, you invest in the high momentum stocks. And how we will invest, we will see. If you are already invested, then on Friday you have to just check the sell ATR. If the price is above the sell ATR, you don't have to do anything. Just you have to observe what is the trailing stop loss for the individual stocks and you're done. Okay. So this is what the basic concept is. And you make a portfolio with the very strict risk management thing. If you don't use the risk management, this strategy will not make money for you. Okay. So let us first discuss about the resign filter. Resign filter means basically we first want to take the stock of the broader market. So first decision we want to make whether we have to trade or we don't have to trade. So answer is simple. We will apply dual ATR with the setting triple 1 2 on this index. If that system is saying okay, uh, close is higher than higher than buy ATR, that gives you the signal. Okay, you can invest. That is the simple thing. Okay. So first let us see if we could trade this index, then what would be the scenario? Okay. So the first table, right? This is the historical performance of this index, where the historical CAGR is 14.81%, but the max drawdown is 74.24%. Okay. So if you just see the CAGR, it is okay, but the moment you see max drawdown 74%, that is heartbreaking, and that is the reason most of the people don't make money because they can't withstand this much of drawdown. And as in the previous presentation, um, I discussed that rather than seeing just the CAGR value, the real marker of the performance is not the CAGR, current present CAGR. The real marker of the performance is the rolling return. Rolling returns means what? For example, when we say the 1 year of rolling return means 1 year between any 2 points. Means let's say 1st January 2000 to 31st December 2000. That is 1 year. Now 2nd January 2000 to another size, another year, whatever, 2nd January 2001. So basically, on every date, you will have the data of 1 year return, 2 year return, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year return. So that throws you a lot of data. And when you put that data in this particular format, then you really get the real picture of that particular instrument. So how to understand it? Okay. So if you see this particular table, so what it says ki there have been a scenario when you were invested in this index, even after 5 years, your results could have been negative. While so that means even after 5 years, your CAGR could be minus 5%. Median CAGR, what it says that most of the time, if you stayed in the index, most of the time would have got 11 point around 12% of CAGR. But the most important point is even in the 5 years, there have been the instances when this has not given any return and your return was as low as 25% even after 5 years. Now, what happens the moment we apply the timing system on this index? The moment you apply timing system on the index, first the CAGR improves um, amazingly to 28.5%, while the max drawdown reduces just to 14%. And when you have these kind of system, then staying invested or staying or following a strategy becomes a lot more easier. Another most important point another most important point is, you see, if you there has been never any instance where you uh, where you use this strategy, your drawdown was more than 10% over a year. If you're invested for the 2 years or above, you never had any negative return. And as you can see, the median CAGR was like 25, 24%. So this gives a real strength of this strategy. Okay. So what does it? So why I am discussing this? What I am saying, with this methodology, when the CAGR is giving you 28.53%, okay. Now in this index, all kind of stocks would be there. Some would be moving with the market, some would be moving less with the market, some would be moving opposite with the market. So what if you are able to identify the high momentum stocks, okay, from this space, and create only those stocks? Then the expected result is that your results can go very easily in the range of 40 to 45%. I hope this point is clear. I repeat again, when the index, which consists of 400 stocks, is giving you CAGR of 28.53% with very limited drawdown of 15%, 14%. Imagine a scenario, if by using the timing model, if you are just identifying the high momentum stocks and you are trading those only, then this 28% should jump somewhere 35 to 40%. Should jump. Okay. And why I'm saying that kind of thing, because I had developed some algorithm for myself also. With this methodology, the returns are going as high as 50% CAGR. I know technically those numbers will not be achievable because there would be the slippages, some other slippages would be there, taxes would be there, some other execution surprises would be there. But rather than going more for the number, we should understand what is the concept of this method, why this method promises you high returns. That's what we need to understand. Okay. Now let us see one this very interesting thing. So on the top, it is this mid small 400 index with the dual ATR offsetting triple one two, and below is the mid small 400 index. This slide should really raise a lot of interest in you if you are not interested till now, for some reason. You see this time duration around 2008 to 2014. Between these two peaks, the return was zero for how many years? I think around 6 7 years. But you observe the same blue, this yellow thing here. At that time, the timing model would have given 416% return. And I I will encourage you during this time, you go open any mutual fund, any PMS, any instrument in the market, and you let me know if anything has beaten this number. Okay. Then let us see the result from the between two peaks. From here, the another peak came after the bull run of 2017. The index gave 115%. How many years? Like 11 years, 10 years. And this strategy would have given 840%. Similarly, after 2017, then there was a choppy market, then the 2020 Corona crash. So this was the time. I hope you can see my mouse. Again, for this duration, around 3.5 years, there was the zero return in the market. But see, at that time, this strategy had given 82%. And from that peak, 2017 peak to currently, index return was 16, while strategy return was 170%. Another thing is, observe few important things. You see, when the index was going down here, the strategy output was pretty much flat. And when the market reversed, it picked up that move. Similarly, you see here when the market was going down, it was pretty much flat, and when the market starting moving up, again it captured. So this is the beauty of this strategy. So what happens when the market is moving up? It will capture most of that move, and when the market corrects, it will it will sit in cash for most of the time. So basically, when the market is moving up, it is making money like just like any other strategies, just like any other strategies. There is no individual strength to this one. The whole strength comes your capability to sit in cash when the market is correcting or crashing. And you can apply DATR 1112 setting, and you will be surprised to see it would have saved you from all the crashes. 2000 2008 फिर बीच में I think 2013 or something, wherever you see, sorry, 2008, then there was another major correction around after 2010 and all, right. It would have saved you from the major drawdown all the time. There is something in the market, before the major crack, it will show some symptoms. Even for the corona crash, before the corona crash, I think 3 or 4 weeks before, it just took you out of the market. Okay. Okay. So what I hope by this time it is clear, that we have to trade only when there is a uptrend in the broader market. First, just understand. For example, here I have applied that triple 1 2 setting. So these highlighted thing, when it is moving up, during these highlighted portion only, you have to trade. Otherwise, you don't have to trade. This is what the main rule. Now I'm going to present you one very important data that will definitely convince you, and you will get interested in this strategy. If not, even if you have any doubt till now. Okay. So let me give you the two examples, why it is important to trade with the broader market. If you're not trading with the broader market, believe me, no matter how well you read the market, money will not be made. That is for most of the people, 1995 or 98% people. Even if you study the way all the great traders and all, everybody has recommended this thing only. You trade with the broader market. Period. No matter how smart you are. I mean, I'm not challenging anyone. What I'm saying, just try to understand, because this is the nature of the market. So let us see. So this is a recent run, right, which started from the 31st March. It is continuously going on. See, if you are from the engineering background, you can understand this histogram, probability distribution function and all. So I ran this test. So during this, basically, I sorted out all the stocks which are having liquidity more than 5 crore. So you will get the 844 stocks over all Nifty space. Now, interesting thing is, for this period of 98 days, for 14 weeks, okay, number of positive stocks means returns, sorry, stocks which has given the positive returns, whopping 93.36%, means 93.36% stocks has given positive return, and average positive return was 31%. And the stocks which has given negative return, the average negative return was -8%, and median was 23%. Okay, so if you can understand this histogram, you see what it says for around this 20%. More than 200 stocks gave you like 20%. More than around 198 stocks gave you like 30%. So you can see most of the bars are following the positive territory. Okay. Now you see what happens when the broader market is in the downtrend. So this is the highlighted portion when the broader market is the downtrend, where this index went down to the 20%. Now what happens? First of all, the liquidity in the market goes away. So instead of 850 stocks, you have the 650 stocks only. Out of that, only 8% stocks have given the positive return. And that is what we should understand when the broader market is in down. Your probability of finding success is very, very low. Okay. The average negative return was minus 21%. If you see this histogram, very few values are coming in the positive domain. Most of the values are going into the negative domain. So this testing you can do almost, in any swing, in any downswing or any uptrend. You will find this observation very, very consistent. And that is the thing, when you see that 93% stocks are moving up, even if you do not have any strategy at the stock level, you are following just this index, mid small cap for 400. You throw the dice, pick up 20 stocks, stay invested. When the index is moving out of below the red ATR, you just move out. You will surprisingly see that you are meeting, sorry, you are beating lot of mutual funds already. If you don't believe me, give it a shot for the next 3 months, 6 months. Maybe you do the paper trading also. You will just finding this is very amazing. So my understanding is to make the money in the market really. You don't need to know a lot of things. Some basic things, if they are just followed with the discipline, in my opinion, that will be fine. Okay. Another important thing: how many stocks to trade. So this particular data I have taken from the capital mind. This data I have taken from the Capital Mind, and that is a 2020 January 2020 article, and this is in sync with another research papers which has been published by the US traders and academics also. So lot of research has been done. What should be the size of, sorry, how many stocks should be there in your portfolio. So there are the various parameters, maximum drawdown, Sharpe ratio, Ulcer index, and all. So the final result is the optimum size of your portfolio should be around 20 to 25%. So if your portfolio around 20 to 25, 20 to 25 position, then basically your CAGR will also be better with relatively less max drawdown, and the probability of the drawdown will also be less. So I think if you just do the Google, and you type capital mind momentum strategy, how many stocks, you will get this paper. So this I have also coded various momentum strategies and I have run this. This is true. If you go up to the 10, there's always danger of the severe drawdown. If you go beyond 25, the CAGR starts coming down. So 20, 25, maybe up to 27, 28. That is a that is a very good number of position. Don't go less than this. Don't go beyond this. And if you are trading in the domain of small case, mid cap, and all, maybe you can go around 25, because sometimes you get very nasty stocks in the portfolio. You can't help it. They on another day they will suddenly drop, suddenly crack to 20%. So if you are just holding 10 positions, you will miss the heartbeat. Okay. Another thing is the risk management. So I hope we are clear why we want 20 to 25 stocks in our portfolio. Risk management, this I covered. This is a very standard thing. I think this should be known to many, many people, but I will revisit it. Why we need to control the drawdown. Okay. So left the first column, right? It says if your portfolio has a drawdown of 1%, how much gain it needs for the break even. So you see, up to 7%, it is pretty much that only. Even up to 10%, when drawdown is 10%, your gain you need to do the break even is 11%. But what happens after this 7-10% now? This ratio start skewing a lot. Okay. So let's say portfolio goes down to 30%, you need 42% just for the break even, for the no loss, no profit situation. By chance, let's say you have seen in the past uh, indexes, stocks have gone down to 45%. So once you're down 45%, your portfolio has to come by 80%. And God forbid, it goes down by 70%. then you need 233%, whopping 233%. Now you just think by yourself, when you are doing normal trading or investing, what is easier, to get the 50% or to get the 10%, right? Or to get the 5%. There is always a higher probability of getting 5, 10, 15% from the stock rather than getting the 100%, right? So that's why it becomes very, very important. If you want to make money and retain the money, you have to control the drawdown of your portfolio. If you do not pay attention to it, you will keep doing the hard work, and you will keep wondering, where the money has gone. For example, uh, the human mind is conditioned to understand linearly, but unfortunately in the life, fortunately, unfortunately, both things are more non-linear or exponential in effect. Okay, so let's say your portfolio, uh, let's say case where your portfolio rise by the 100%, and then you lose, then there is a drawdown of 50%. Okay, if I ask you how much gain you are left with, so most of the people will simply say, okay, 100% gain, 50% loss. I will still be in the 50% profit. But no, 100 becomes 200, then 50% of 200 becomes back to 100, right? So that's what I'm saying. If you do not control the drawdown, even all your hard work can go in vain. So strategy is one thing, but understanding why risk is important and why we need to control it. Everybody says we need to control the drawdown, but we really need to understand and appreciate why you need to control the drawdown. If you do not control the drawdown, money will not make. Okay. Risk per position. This is very, I will try to go slow. And in fact, by end of this slide, if you're not clear, please stop and you raise your question. I mean, you can unmute and ask also. Okay. So from here, I always target, at least initial target, that my risk on the portfolio should not be more than 7%. Once with this, I will I will come to designing my portfolio. So this is the example for the 20 stocks portfolio. So if you want to have the maximum drawdown of 7% on your portfolio, then, and if you divide that risk to each stock, so simple, 7% divided by 20 becomes 0.35%. So one particular position, you do not want to allow more than 0.35% of your account value. Okay, you can calculate that, right? So and then by this formula you can calculate the quantity. So you guys can note down this formula. You can take the snapshot of it. You can get it over the Google. It is not a very big deal. It is simple thing is, whatever is your stop loss, our stop loss will be the sell ATR. So what is the difference from that CMP? That would be your risk risk per unit, risk 1 unit of the stock. Okay, and that you divided by the total risk which you can afford in that stock, you will get the quantity. And this is a general formula. Here you can define what is the your maximum allowed portfolio risk, what is the maximum number of position, and you can calculate the quantity for the each stocks. Okay, Sagarika asked why 7% by 20? No, why it is not 7% by 20%. It is 7% by 20 because we are designing a portfolio of 20 stocks. And overall risk, I want to take 7% on the portfolio. So for the 20 stocks pay, I want the maximum risk of 7%. So per stock risk will be 0.35%. Is it clear? Okay. Another condition is, I don't think this would be applicable to many, many people unless your account size in at least couple of crores or close to 5 crore. But still, it is worth of discussing because it is important point. See, you have to be in the market where you have to make money from the market, but you should not be the market. What does it mean? You should not be moving the bar. You should not be building the candle. You have to make use of the candle. Okay. So, for example, let's say the business is happening 1 crore. Out of that 1 crore, you have put the 80 lakh in that, right? And you want to sell that 80 lakh from where the buyers will come. So from the traditional wisdom, the idea is your position size should not be more than 2% of the turnover. For example, let's say the stock turnover. What is turnover? Turnover is volume multiplied the price. Volume multiplied by the price, that is the turnover of that stock. So if the average turnover is, let's say, 1 crore of a stock, in that stock you should not keep more than 2 lakhs. This is what the another um, risk control measure is there. So I'll take a pause here. Anybody has any question, please unmute and ask. I'll try to explain. I'm not sure whether I explained it properly or not. This is not very intuitive to begin with. Anyone who is not clear about it?
Subodh, Vasant here.
Huh, huh.
So, you have mentioned the turnover is 1 crore, right? So, is it daily turnover or weekly or monthly?
No, no. So the formula is you multiply volume and price. Okay. Then you take the 50 moving average of this turnover.
Okay, so volume is daily volume or
Daily volume. So daily
okay,
volume, daily closing price. You multiply
okay,
it, that is a turnover for that day. And that's how you calculate the turnover for every day. Then you average, basically moving average of turnover over 50 days.
okay.
Subodh, Neeraj here. Uh, हेलो।
हाँ नीरज बोलो।
वो आप आपका वो एक और स्लाइड पे जाएंगे क्या जहाँ पे आपने वो दिखाया था, चार्ट दिखाया था?
ये
अ, नहीं, इसके ऊपर वाली।
ये
This one. So
हम्म,
in this first slide, first graph, it like miss you put with the dual ATR 1112. So it means it will change the this graph also or chart also. Or these are the miss. So lower chart is the simple chart, correct? जो कि आपको कितना प्राइस है, ये
हाँ
ऊपर वाला चार्ट कैसे चेंज हो गया, मतलब दिस पार्ट?
हाँ that's oh yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to exact stat. अच्छा, last you were not in the previous session, right?
हाँ, वही वही इसलिए।
ओके।
हाँ,
नहीं तो क्या होता है कि ये जो इंडेक्स है, इस पे यू अप्लाई दैट स्ट्रेटजी।
ओके
ठीक है।
ओके।
तो
हाँ,
उस स्ट्रेटजी में क्या होता है कि जैसे ही ये नीचे जा रहा होता है, यू कैन सी माय माउस, राइट?
करेक्ट या।
तो यहाँ पे स्ट्रेटजी कैश में चली जाती है।
ओ, ओके ओके
तो
ओके
जब तक
ओके।
ये नीचे जा रहा है ये कैश में है।
ओ, ओके
अब
ओके।
जैसे
हाँ
ही ये
हाँ।
रिवर्स करता है, फिर से एंट्री मार लेता है।
ओके।
सो दैट इज वेयर
ओ,
इट गिव्स यू अल्फा।
okay, so the upper chart is with the your strategy, what is
यस,
the index look like? Okay,
राइट।
got it. अच्छा, ठीक है, yeah, thanks.
Okay, anybody has any more question? See, it is perfectly okay to ask. Believe me, these things are not very intuitive to me also. So, no question is bad question, no question is dumb question. Even today when I calculate this quantity and, if I forget this formula, I again need to go back and check the concept, what it is. So that is perfectly okay if you ask any question on any previous slide before we move forward. So I'll take a pause for a few seconds.
और सुबह one more question, like here, uh, जैसे भी आपने बोला कि we should not take more than 7% or 10% drawdown
Mhm.
on one particular stock.
No.
Uh,
On the portfolio.
on the port, so on one particular stock you will keep your stop loss of like 10%, correct? Or
No,
maybe
no, no,
7.
no, no. How much
Okay.
stop loss will come, that is a different thing. That we will come to that. We'll come to that point.
Okay, so when you are telling 7%, so it is not the drawdown on the one particular
No,
stock.
no, that
It
is
is
the
on the overall portfolio.
overall portfolio.
Okay. Good.
Okay, someone I think mentioned whether this formula is right.
Sir, namaskar.
अरे यार if it is not, do let me know where the mistake happened. I think
Sir, namaskar.
namaste. Who is this?
सर आई एम दर्शन दर्शन बात कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ
सर
दर्शन
मैं ये पूछना चाह रहा था कि आपने जो मिड एंड स्मॉल 400 यूज किया है उससे अपन 20 स्टॉक्स लेते हैं,
हाँ हाँ
क्या हम ऐसे कर सकते हैं कि अपन केवल एक इंडेक्स ही यूज करें और उसके अंदर अपन जैसे कि अपने पास निफ्टी 20 है या जूनियर 20 है और उसको यूज करके केवल करे तो भी ये फेवरेबल ही रहेगा और ड्रॉ डाउन जब आए तो अपन उससे एग्जिट कर ले, कि अपन को 20 स्टॉक्स लेना कंपलसरी है?
अच्छा अच्छा देखिए मेरे आप थे क्या प्रीवियस सेशन में थे
नहीं
क्या?
नहीं 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 सर, सॉरी
हाँ
पिछली बार नहीं मिल पाया सर।
I think that's why these questions are coming up. This is basically a advanced topic. Last उसमें मैंने कवर किया था वो जो डुअल एटीआर इंडेक्स इन्वेस्टिंग थी, वो जो आप
अच्छा।
बोल रहे हो वहां पे हम एग्जैक्टली वही कर रहे हैं. सो
हाँ तो वो फेवरेबल है ना सर?
हाँ वो हाँ दैट वर्क्स वेरी वेल. सी उसमें आई क्विकली शो यू, आई क्विकली शो यू समथिंग. सी दीज आर द लॉन्ग टर्म रिजल्ट्स. ओके, तो अगर आप केवल स्मॉल कैप मिड कैप अगर आप ट्रेड कर रहे हो तो
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
ये आपके रिजल्ट्स हैं. तो ये मैंने यही मैं ट्विटर पे भी डालता हूँ.
नहीं सर, मैं ट्विटर पे आपको फॉलो कर रहा हूँ और उसी कारण से आज चूंकि आप एडवांस लेवल पे चले गए तो वो टॉपिक मेरे से स्किप हो गया, इसीलिए मैंने पूछा कि जैसे कि अगर मैं केवल एक मैं ओरिजिनल मैं पैसिव इन्वेस्टमेंट ही करता हूँ और इंडिविजुअल स्टॉक्स के अंदर मैं कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूँ, तो मैं ये चाह रहा था कि आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी को जैसे कि मैंने अपन ने एक यूज किया कि जूनियर 20 पे या निफ्टी आपके NL 250 पे, और वो उसके अंदर वो फेवरेबल रिजल्ट दे रहा है और मैं रोटेशनल करता हूँ कि जब वो नीचे वाली ATR के नीचे आ जाता है तो मैं अपना पूरा एग्जिट हो जाता हूँ और जब ऊपर वाली ATR के ऊपर आता है तो पूरा 100% एंट्री कर लेता हूँ। तो भी ये मार्केट को बीट कर रहा है ना, अल्फा जनरेट कर रहा है ना ये?
सर ना केवल मार्केट को बीट कर रहा है, it will beat, it has beaten all the mutual funds left and
हाँ
right.
हाँ सर सर, दिस इज द ब्यूटी। तभी मैं पिछले मतलब कि 15 दिन इंतजार कर रहा था आपके इस सेशन के लिए। थैंक यू सर। और अभी आप स्टॉक्स का बता रहे हैं तो हमको अच्छा लगा, मैं और आगे इसमें जाकर के स्टॉक भी चेक करूंगा। थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
नहीं अभी स्टॉक का सेशन करके अगर टाइम बचा एंड पीपल आर इंटरेस्टेड वी कैन रिविजिट दिस थिंग.
हाँ
बस
सर प्लीज,
अच्छा मैं
प्लीज अगर।
पूरा आंसर कर देता हूँ.
हाँ
देखिए
हाँ हाँ जी।
यहाँ पे आप गौर से देखिए मैंने ये केवल 3 चीजें हाईलाइट की हुई. ठीक है, स्मॉल कैप फंड, मिड कैप फंड, मिड कैप मोमेंटम 50. ठीक है, मेरा सजेशन ये है कि आप इन तीनों इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के अलावा कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आप ट्रेड मत करो. ठीक है, वी कैन हैव अ सेपरेट डिस्कशन और उसके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. लेकिन इस स्ट्रेटजी का फायदा उसी में है व्हेन यू आर ट्रेडिंग अ वेरी हाईली वोलाटाइल इंस्ट्रूमेंट, वेरी हाईली वोलाटाइल इंस्ट्रूमेंट. दैट्स व्हाई अगर आप निफ्टी ट्रेड कर रहे हो, निफ्टी 20 ट्रेड कर रहे हो, नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट NN50 ट्रेड कर रहे हो, वहां पे आपको अच्छे रिजल्ट नहीं मिलेंगे. Dual ATR strategy is for the volatile instrument, not for the large cap kind of instrument. So don't do it.
Subodh, one query. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
On the international indices, okay, sorry, let me reword it. When you say indices with high volatility, how do we measure indices? Volatility of index. Do we have like any threshold saying if anything
नहीं नहीं
greater
नहीं
than
ऐसा
X?
नहीं है. देखो सी आई टेल यू इट इज वेरी सिंपल. जितने भी इंडेक्स हैं आई रैन माई स्ट्रेटेजी ऑन एवरीथिंग. Okay, and you know it is working over the last 4 5 years. I have got this understanding backed up by the data that all the timing strategies works better with the highly volatile. There is no threshold kind of thing, but the moment you get into the small mid cap space, micro cap space, it works fine. But if you are in the large cap or next 50 space, whether whether NSE stocks or US stocks, wherever you say, the results are pretty much same. Did I answer your question?
जी सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ठीक है. So this is what it is. Actually, next 50 का भी result उतना बुरा नहीं है. It has given 23.18%, but the point is, when you have like 28-25% kind of strategy, why we really want to go? Actually, this Nifty Alpha 50 strategy is also pretty good, but the problem is there is no mutual fund. There is only one ETF, और उसका liquidity is very poor. The liquidity, average liquidity is hardly 50 lakhs. So somebody wants to put the serious money into that, it doesn't work out for many people. So we want, some instrument where you can make the wealth. Okay, any other question before I move to the next thing?
Just a quick query. In that historical test you did, what is the period of testing, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I downloaded all the history from the NSC. I think most of the indices history of like कितना कम से कम 20 to 23 years का तो है, plus 20 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that's why it gives a lot more confidence in the strategy, right? You're just testing over some 4 5 years. It doesn't make sense. Now in last 23 years, it has gone through many boom and bust cycles, sideways market and everything, right? So it has worked.
Exactly. That's why I was asking the question. So this is a very time tested, long term. So there's no bias here. Thank you.
Generally, what happens in the back testing, most of the back testing models are not free from the survivorship bias, if you are aware of that term. Uh, but that's not the case when it comes to the index thing. There is no survivorship bias. So that's why high.
Sir,
Huh?
so this is Abhilash here.
Vilash?
Sir, this how did you arrive at the ATR value, sir? Like some values are like 2.5, like that. So
Okay. So what happens? I have written the code in the ME broker. Okay. And in the ME broker, I run the optimization simulations. There I get the
okay,
many values. There I pick up some optimal value after studying the many other settings like that.
sir, one more thing. Could we be sure that these values will work going forward also, or does it pertain to curve fitting?
See, there is no guarantee that it will work. See, I can tell you, it will make money, but I cannot guarantee that any other setting will not make more money. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So that can happen. That can happen. Yeah, that can happen. So there is no guarantee because uh, this is definitely the curve fitting, and that's why I mentioned, don't get too much attached to the setting, too much attached to the returns. Uh, appreciate the idea of timing. देखो आप सेटिंग थोड़ी बहुत ऊपर नीचे कर दोगे, sometimes you will get the signal 1 week earlier, 1 week later. More than that, things do not change.
yes,
ऐसा होता है, ठीक है ना? Sometimes maybe you will get in some settings you will get chopped more in the sideways market. In some settings you will not. So those kind of things can happen. But I think life is so uncertain, उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
okay. Thank you, sir.
And by the way, I'll keep running that optimization every once in quarter, and we all can, we all can be keep in touch. So if there is any change, major change in the settings and all, we can always revisit. That's not a problem.
That's great actually, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Yes.
Yeah, Subodh, one question regarding the execution. So, like, if we get an entry on Friday,
No,
okay,
we'll come
so
to no, please hold on. We'll come to execution part little later. I still have
oh,
to present that part.
oh, fine,
I'm not
okay,
done yet. My thing
okay,
was till this slide, and if any slide you couldn't understand, please ask the questions. Yes, still a lot of things are there.
fine.
Okay. Okay, moving on. So now the main question, if we understood, we have to always operate in the uptrending market. And we also understood why we have to operate in the uptrending market. We also understood why the drawdowns are necessary and how that translate to the portfolio level risk management and how that translate to the per position level risk management. Okay. Now the question is which stocks to trade. Okay. So simple is we want to trade high momentum stocks. Then there are many ways to calculate the momentum. Personally, what I use, that is the something something floated by Andrew Keeley. You can Google search his book, Stocks on the Move. I think you can get the free copy also if you want, but I will suggest you to purchase it. Uh, so they have this, he has given certain methodology which is called exponential regression. What it is actually, I give you quick insight into this. Let's say one stock goes from 100 to 300 and it goes in the straight line. Okay, another stock also goes to 100 to 300 but with lot of volatility. So if you just calculate the momentum, the sabka momentum is coming your 200% only. But the quality of momentum is better in the first case where the price was rising linearly. So what it does, it factors into factors that volatility into the momentum calculation. So for the two same stocks, same return over the time, but the stock which is rising more linearly, more constructively, it will give higher rank to that stock. So that comes. But I understand for that you need certain software. I use the ME broker, so things can be difficult over there. So what I suggest everyone, you can take the membership from Market Smith India. I think that membership is pretty cheap. So if if that is also challenge, oh sorry, वहाँ पे you can take the stocks जिनका relative strength is more than 80. And let's say there is also a challenge for some reason, why to put the money. So I think this particular formula can be coded in the charting. If I'm not wrong, if someone is charting expert, he can let me know. I think this is a very simple formula you can code into the charting also. So that thing also can be done. You calculate IBD score. IBD stands for, भूल गया मुझे. IBD stands for
Investors Business Daily.
Investor Business Daily. Thanks. Yeah, so IBD stands for that. Basically, IBD was started by William O'Neill, one of the greatest trader of our history. So this is the formula to calculate that score. I think you can calculate the charting also, not a big deal. और अगर बहुत मुश्किल है तो just calculate the 12-week return and you give the ranking. Ranking means higher the score, better the ranking. सबसे ज़्यादा जिसका score आएगा उसका rank 1 followed by rank 2 like that. Okay, so what happens, you run the scanner and you get the list of momentum. Okay, with one condition, whatever the turnover condition you want to keep. I choose 5 crore क्योंकि उसके उससे छोटा जो स्टॉक होता है उसमें कई बार मैनिपुलेशन वगैरह के ज्यादा चांसेस रहते हैं. But that doesn't matter. I think even if you take 1-2 crore, that is fine. It's okay. Okay, so you keep in mind this turnover criteria and you just forget about turnover at this step. You just calculate the momentum and rank the stock accordingly. Okay.
Subodh, may I ask a query, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, if we, let's say one chooses to follow momentum ranking, which is the the exponential regression, what should be the typical or the recommended look back period?
Good question. Yeah. So from my back testing, that is 160 days.
160 days.
160 days in the Indian market. Yeah. And I think we are aware of this methodology. You can use the worst ranking of worst rank held 80.
Okay, post rank held
I,
80.
yeah, I have given you the whole strategy now. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. But please, please do not get attached to 160 and 80 numbers and all. See, guys, I'm telling no matter what momentum ranking you are running, you run like medium time frame, like around 3 months kind of, 3 to 6 months kind of momentum ranking. So most of the stocks will anyway overlap. So you do not worry too much about I'm running this method, someone is running that method, he might be getting better stock. No, don't worry about that part. Most of the stocks will anyway will be common. Just do not use very short time period like 1 month. Do not choose very long time period like 9 months. I think anything between 3 to 6 months works pretty much fine. In fact, if you are using 3 to 6 months of momentum, most of the stocks what you will get, you will see those stocks are rising very linearly. Yeah. Okay. So I'll show you this DATR triple one two template.
Sorry, can I ask one more query, please, if
Yes,
you
yes,
don't
please.
mind?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So for the if one chooses to run on the Clino methodology, what would be the universe? Should the universe also be the mid small 400?
No, no. You run on Nifty all, just put the turnover of 5 crore and run it.
Okay, Nifty all with a turnover limit.
That you can do.
Got
You
it.
can run. In fact, to be very precise, you can exclude the top 100 stocks, but no need to do. Anyway, they will not come in your scanner because they never
Right.
get the high momentum like the mid, small cap or micro.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the this strategy template. If you guys want, I will share it also. And this is the latest stocks coming from my scanner. Okay. So once, so what you can do here, let's say your capital is for like 10 lakhs, right? One, two, three, four, five, six. This is 10 lakhs. Portfolio risk, I want to give 7%. Risk per position is 0.35. You can change this also. Let's say you are not comfortable with that. You can have the 0.25%. Then your number of positions will increase like that. Okay. So what happens, whatever just we discussed, you can play with these things: capital, risk per position, portfolio risk. Accordingly, it gives you the final quantity what you should buy. So for example, let's say we'll take the case of nucleus. Okay, you guys can see it. Is it visible? Someone please confirm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll take this stock. Okay, so right now it is ranked number one and I want to get invested in this. So if I not made a mistake, hopefully all correct. So see, the close price is 1103 and the trailing stop loss, which is red one, 989. It is also satisfying the condition that price is above. Okay, let me change it first. So the green ATR is for buy, red ATR for selling. So the green ATR is saying the price is above. Green ATR means you can buy this stock, and with the stop loss of red one. Red one is 989.133 and the close price is 1103. Okay, so I'll show you my this sheet. ये देखो current market price is this one. This I'm taking from Google. That's why some difference. And this is my trail price. So risk per unit means one stock if you buy, what would be the risk? This is nothing but this price minus this price. Okay. So means if you buy this stock and you follow this stop loss, which is stop loss, which is coming from the red line, sell ATR 989.133. If you follow that, then 1 unit of the stock will have this much risk, right? Correct. Your total risk per position is 3,500. We calculated, right? 0.35% of your whole capital. Correct. So your quantity would be 29. See, if you understand Excel, you can understand this is 3,500 divided by risk per unit. This quantity is coming up. So what happens? This is the max margin. Max margin means with respect to the uh, 50-day moving average of the turnover, you should not invest more than 50 lakhs, 56 lakhs in this stock. But what we come to know that my margin is coming 32, 142 rupees. So for me, this becomes a factor which we should ignore. Then we calculate the final quantity, some round down quantity, and this is how this quantity we can buy. So also this sheet, what it does, it calculates the total margin. Let's say from rank number one, you start buying. So what it will say, with the current setting, the moment you buy 19 stocks, you will be run out of your capital. So under this condition, your portfolio would be of 19 stocks. So what you can do, let's say we want to go between 20 to 25, you can reduce the risk per position. So this has increased. Now instead of 19, it is 28. Another thing what you can do, you can keep the risk same and you can increase the little bit portfolio risk. So sorry, नहीं यहाँ तो नहीं हो रहा. No, no, this, let's see, go to point 3. Yeah. So here it becomes, some 22 positions. So when you play with these two combination of risk per position and overall portfolio risk and all, no? So it will give you the indication. Sometimes, if you're, if I show you like this, let's say per position risk is 0.5. Huh. Let's say in this particular scenario, right? Risk per position you define 0.5%, but overall portfolio risk is 5%, right? So the overall risk of portfolio is should be less than 50,000. So what it is saying here, you should have only 10 position. So this is the risk management calculation which you can explore. If you're finding it difficult to understand, don't get overwhelmed. It is okay. It takes time. It is not very intuitive. But if you say, I will ask, I will share this template and you can copy and you can use it. And my plan is to update this particular position calculator over every weekend, unless people are able to do by themselves. So you can just use the capital, define the risk, and you have the basically portfolio is ready. Okay. Any question on this?
If you don't mind, can you just explain the max margin again, please?
Max margin, right? Okay. Max margin. Okay. So let's say average turnover of a stock is 1 crore. Okay. Average turnover means volume into price. Now, the whole idea is when you do this momentum investing, lot of low liquid stock will get into your screener. So people say don't trade low liquid stocks and all. I do not believe in that. Only the thing is depends upon how much, what is your account size. So for a person who wants to invest, let's say 10 lakhs in a stock, and the turnover, the market itself is of just 1 crore. So basically you are buying the 10% position of that market, of that stock, right? So what happens? You become the part of the people who are you become the major force of moving the candle itself. The moment you buy 10%, the candle will move because of you. That is something you don't want to do. Okay? You want to become the negligible part of the whole turnover, so that you do not move the market. You make the use of the move of the market. So that's why the recommended is 1 to 2%. First time I think I heard from India, I think I heard from Manas Arora and someone else from US. I think Qual Maggie or something like that. Okay. So got the idea, right? You should not be moving the market. You should be making the use of move of the market. Okay. Otherwise, let's say your position becomes heavy 20% of one, like 20 lakh out of 1 crore. You want to get out of that stock, right? So basically, you are driving the stocks to go down. That should not happen. In worst case scenario, you take a heavy position, you may not be able to exit at all. It may also happen you have taken a heavy position, there are no further buyers. Got it? Did I clear your question?
Yes, you cleared the concept. That max margin value, how did we arrive at that number, please?
Ah, ha, ha. Okay, okay. So this is a formula. So
Okay, basically use the turnover. Okay, got it.
ah,
Thank you.
okay. So I think this is the position calculator. There are the two other sheets are there, but that's let it be there for some other day. Okay. So once we have made our portfolio, then we don't have to do anything for the rest of the week. We have to just check next Friday. If close is less than red, you just exit, okay, and you replace it with the another high momentum stock. This is what the methodology is. So let me show you some examples, recent examples. So recently on 31st March or something like that, the mid small index went into the buy thing. Since then it is in the buy zone only. So this is Theta Guard. It has given 99.4%. Subsoft, it has given 120%. You see how the trade came. Here it was more than green. It was buy. You were just holding it 99%. Again on the similar day, it was again closing price was above green. You holded it. Apar Industries. This is just to show you, no, not everything will go as per our expectation. So here you entered, this stock crashed, you just got out with the 7%. Then again the entry came, it gave the 15%. This is the particular stock, Varun Beverage. Uh, Here you got stopped out with the gain of 10%, 10.5. Safari, you clocked 32%. Usha Martin, you clocked 31%. See, the concept is simple. On 31st March, when the index gave you the buy signal, you are entering. And right now in the index also, it is the buy. And at the stock level also, it is a buy. So you just continue holding it. Okay. Maybe I'll show you a couple of examples probably which failed. Right.
So, Subodh, one thing like here, we should see the weekly close, or not the like
हाँ हाँ
weekly
yes yes yes
candle. मतलब बीच का नहीं देखना जैसे
no 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 see
cases it is going down also in the, so we should see the weekly close and weekly buy, correct?
yeah
Not the candle size. Okay.
Neeraj na
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
Neeraj see uh, you can always tweak the strategy, you can make it working for you. So right now your
Okay.
whole intention is to giving a very simple system.
Correct.
if
हाँ हाँ.
if if people are willing to follow religiously, that gives them like 35-40%.
Correct. Good.
When I say 35-40%, I'm reading lot, not just throwing the numbers in the air. These are possible numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
ठीक है.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Abhi just say, let me show you one fail example, right? So I think this is the fail example. So on the 31st March, index was high, KPIT was high, you entered, and I think the next week itself, you made the loss of 14%. So why I'm showing, things are always not very rosy. You will have the surprises, and that's why the diversification in the number of position comes into picture. Okay. So that's why you make sure you do not get fascinated by any particular stock or any handful stock. There is the research which says you do the risk management, have 20 to 25%. Yes, Sagarika, we enter on Friday towards EOD, right? Yeah. In case if you miss it, you can do on Monday also. That's not a problem. Okay. So
And
yeah.
Subodh, one question. So here we have to use the dual ATR setting of 1112, correct?
Triple.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
true
Let me show you.
also.
Let me show you that. So this is my indicator. So 1112 means for both the buy 1 1. 1112 means in this indicator ऊपर से नीचे आपको, so that you don't get confused. So that I also don't get confused. It is 1112. Okay.
Subodh, hi. I had one question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, if can you just go back to that Excel once?
Yes, yes, yes. This one.
Yes, yes, this one.
Uh-huh.
So, in this, let's say once you took a position in X some stock, in that stock it gave an exit, right?
Right.
So, on Monday morning you sell that stock. Now, the new stock, how will you position size on that stock?
Okay. Once the stock is out,
Hmm.
you forget about it.
Yes,
Okay.
but then you'll select some new
No, no,
stock
no.
then.
Correct, correct. Okay. I am telling you.
Hmm.
Let's say bought some stock.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's say for example, you had Chennai Petrol. Okay. For example. and on
Hmm.
Friday you got the exit signal. You sold it.
Right.
Okay, then you check your portfolio. What is the value of your portfolio and
Okay.
how much is the cash in your portfolio? So the portfolio value plus the
Okay.
cash, that becomes
Okay.
your account value.
Okay.
Let me change it to account value. Clear?
Right.
Your right current portfolio value plus the cash component which you got after selling your that failed stock.
Okay.
Now what you do? Now you also have this table scan thing. Then you see whether nucleus is already in your portfolio. Answer is yes. Move on. Jindal is also already there. Move on. Denora is also there. Move on. Okay, Sucksoft is not there. You buy.
Understood. So there is no rebalancing involved of current positions, nothing of that sort.
No, no,
Just
no. It is pretty much very passive and makes huge difference.
okay.
Yeah. See
Understood.
all those those tweaks and fancy things if you can have, and they can give the better results also. See, there will be the concept of selling into the strength, locking the profit at 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. All those philosophies are there. Uh, but the more and more I'm experiencing the market, what I'm realizing, let the thing run. Uh, they will make you happy. That's right. So,
Understood. Understood. Thank you.
okay. So, and anything else? Okay. So, if there is no question on the chart, maybe I can show a couple of more charts. Let's say this is the RK force. Here also I marked this gave you the 56%. Some any let's say Zentech, right? Yeah. Zentech gave you the signal not on the 31st March, but on the June and some 15 May around. This has given 22% and all. Okay. So sometimes you will also catch the stocks like JBMA. JBMA was late entry into the momentum, but it has given like 45% just in 4 weeks, like that. Okay. So um, from the concept wise, I find it very strong. Is Sagarika is asking stocks to using same ATR? Yes, sir, madam. Whatever you are, yeah, everywhere it is triple one two. I have made it very simple. And why triple one two? I have tested it left and right. This is a very optimal rating. I don't say that any other rating will not give the better results, but this is the setting. Sorry, not rating. This is the setting. It will give you the results which will make you very happy. You will beat all the PMS, AIS, AIF, क्या बोलता है, mutual fund, everyone left and right. That too, I'm talking about post tax return. You will do it. So remember triple one two, nothing else.
Can I ask a query, please? So in terms of the stock we will enter, and let's say by next Friday the stock touches the red, they say the stop loss ATR, right?
Uh-huh.
Even if the index is green,
Huh.
which is say above the green ATR, we will still have to exit it, enter
No.
based on the new list.
Okay,
Is
sorry.
that right
So there are two
understanding?
exits. There are two exits. Stock level exit and portfolio exit. For okay. So the master exit is index. If the index may you get exit signal, you had to sell whole of your portfolio and run away. That is very important thing to do. Yes, Dushyant, what if the index go in cash? Yeah, the moment index go in cash, sell the whole portfolio without thinking, without blinking. Just sell it and run. If you don't do it, money will not get created. So now another case is when the index in the index, if the index is still in buy, okay, and then if the stock gets the exit signal, you have to exit only that particular stock. So that's a two exit. One is the global exit which comes from the index, one another is the local exit which comes at the stock level. I hope it is clear now.
Very clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay, this slide I will say just for in case you want to explore the things, I don't think it is very important. Whatever we have discussed till now, this should work for most of the people for most of the time. So, for example, if you further improve the quality of trades, right? So, very traditional wisdom, pin bars, or some people say the hammers, right? So, in the consolidation, if you get the hammer, which are making higher lows, those are more stronger setups. Let me see if I uh, get something right. Yeah, you see, if you see here, this was a very strong setup, right? You are getting this pin bar, which is making higher lows. If you strictly see this low is higher than this, like that. So when the stock is consolidating, it is in the tight range, and within the consolidation, bottom line is if it is making higher lows, generally those setups are far better. They give you the explosive moves. See here, this was a very very tight situation. Here finally it gets the pin bar. And this is where you have to train your eyes. This is not very obvious. So you get the pin bar. After that you just boom. If I get something, you see here, this is a consolidation. If you see this particular, this is a fantastic. Any in the consolidation you see something with the long tail. You start noticing long tail in your charts. You will be amazed to see they work so well. ठीक है, कंसोलिडेशन में आपको एक अच्छा खासा लॉन्ग टेल मिलता है. You can try exploring that. How does it go in the similar way? When there is a long tail coming from the upper side, for example, RK Force, this is anyway, it is getting inside bar, so it is a different thing. But let me show you something. Yes, just ये है टीटागढ़ में, right? You are getting long tails now. By all probability, I expect it will go down. Okay, so you can. There is a very good guy, Bharat Junjunwala. You can take down the no take. ये कौन है? लोकेश, क्या हुआ? Hello. Okay, so if you see these kind of tails, you can become careful. But what I will say, these are the advanced thing you can ignore. For example, here it is a long tail. It went down, but it came back, so it doesn't matter much. So similarly, if you get the pullback from the key moving averages, what I will suggest, there is a very good video of some guy called Jack something, Jack Corrales. He has made fantastic video on Qual Maggie, Mark Navini and all. You can see those videos. If you want to further explore. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just hold on, just a minute. Similarly, you have the fundamental checks also. This is a snapshot from, you can say, William O'Neill. A simple thing is, if the earning per share is growing, sales is growing for the last 2 quarters, those are the very good candidates. The beauty is, when you are following this, momentum investing, and you go back and you start checking their fundamentals, 80 to 90% stocks will automatically have the good fundamentals. So although people appreciate it, but in my experience, for myself, I found them pretty much useless for me. There was a time when I started exploring fundamental things. Now I'm planning to totally give up on that. Okay, when this strategy will not work, in the choppy market, you will get the false signals and all. You will entry after 2 weeks, you will get exit. Then there would be the execution cost, slippage, and all. So chopping market, something is called death by the thousand cuts. That can happen. We can't help it. That is the nature of the market. So you have to be mentally ready. But as the back test shows, even in those cases, the worst drawdown was like 14-15%. That's why the risk management is very important. मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज इमोशनल और लेजी एग्जीक्यूशन. आज फ्राइडे है, मूड नहीं है, ऑफिस में मीटिंग हो गई है, मंडे वेकेशन हो गई है, समथिंग और दिस राइट, it doesn't help. I mean, I will say I'm not able to do the things perfectly. That's why it does not work. For example, the latest rally, which started on 31st March, my model gives like 30%. But that emotional thing came, यार यार बहुत नीचे चला गया, फिर से वापस नीचे नहीं चला जाए. I hardly captured like I think 14, 16% and all. So you can just understand, the moment you bring the emotions, even if you are a seasoned trader, that can hurt you very badly. Yeah, so on this particular strategy, this is what I had. नीरज, ये हाथ का क्या मतलब होता है?
Just I want to ask one question.
Okay, okay, tell me.
हाँ, तो सुबह जैसे ये आप बोल रहे हैं कि like we should be emotional less. So does it mean like as soon as we got the sell signal or buy signal in the index level,
Hmm.
so in one go only like we should be like from 0 to 100 and 100 to 0, or it
Correct.
should be like step
Yes, yes.
by.
No, no, that's all the things, sir. That's how it is. You
So
have
0
to,
to 100,
yeah,
100 to 0
yeah,
in
yeah,
one
you
go.
have to execute it like robot.
Oh, अच्छा, कोई इमोशंस नहीं कि मतलब
नहीं,
नो नो
बिल्कुल
दिस इज
बिल्कुल
लाइक
बिल्कुल
गुड
निर्दयी
गुड
निर्दयी तरीके
स्टॉक.
से व्यवहार करना, निर्दयता
अच्छा,
के साथ, संपूर्ण निर्दयता के साथ.
ओके ओके ओके.
हाँ सरदीप, टेल मी सर. यस सरदीप. इसको कैसे करते हैं यार, ये जो रेज हैंड्स को क्या, व्हाट वी डू टू रेज हैंड्स?
रेज हैंड मतलब कि किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन वगैरह पूछना है, तो जब उसने पूछ लिया तो वो डाउन हो जाएगा.
अच्छा अच्छा, हाँ.
तो जैसे यू आर द होस्ट, तो लोग मतलब बीच में इंटरप्ट कर रहे हैं, उससे अच्छा दे विल रेज अ हैंड कि यू कैन लुक एट देम एंड यू कैन आस्क द क्वेश्चन, तो इंटरप्शन नहीं होगा.
अच्छा, हाँ सरदीप बोलिए. Yes, yes, Sardeep Sagarika, please ask. Do I need to take any action so that they can ask? Something like that?
नहीं नहीं, दे कैन अनम्यूट देमसेल्व्स एंड आस्क.
Okay. Yes, Sardeep, you want to ask? Okay, anyway.
Can I ask a question, please? Till we are
So,
waiting
hello,
for.
am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Who is this?
मैं सर्वदीप बोल रहा हूँ सर.
बोलिए सर, बोलिए.
हाँ, थैंक यू. मैं बोल रहा था आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन बहुत इंसाइटफुल थी सर. मैं
Thank you.
लास्ट प्रेजेंटेशन में भी थोड़ी सी देर के लिए आ पाया था. आई वाज एक्चुअली वर्किंग ऑन दैट डे. मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि आपने उस दिन शेयर करने की कोशिश की थी या कुछ बताने की कोशिश की थी दैट दैट पर्टिकुलर कोड यू कैन नॉट शेयर. बट अगर मैं ये 1112 सिस्टम जो ट्रेडिंग व्यू पर अवेलेबल है, अगर मैं उसे एग्जीक्यूट करूं तो क्या मुझे सिमिलर रिजल्ट्स मिलेंगे?
ट्रिपल 1 2 है क्या ट्रेडिंग व्यू पे? इज इट शोइंग अप?
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो दो तीन आई मीन डबल एटीआर में लगाऊंगा और उसमें वो सेटिंग डालूंगा तो विल इट वर्क?
सर काम करना चाहिए, बट गिव मी सम टाइम. मैं आई विल मेक श्योर दैट दैट इंडिकेटर इज पब्लिश्ड. ठीक है, तो काम
ओके.
करना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं. मैंने वंस अपॉन अ टाइम आई डिड द टेस्टिंग. वो काम करता है. हाँ, थोड़ी बहुत कभी कभार वैल्यू ऊपर नीचे होती है, बट एज आई सेड फ्रॉम कंसेप्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इट डजंट मेक डिफरेंस. डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट पार्ट. आई वर्क ऑन दिस इंडिकेटर थिंग. Pranay Kumar Kapoor is asking, sir, will you share the position size in Google Sheet? हाँ यार, I'll share. No problem. No problem, I can share. ये वाली ना? Okay, Pranay, yes. I think here I can paste the link. इसमें chat में you guys can take a note of it. ये लो. Yeah, I pasted. Okay. Share anyone with the link. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I have given the sharing link. You can take a note of it. Okay, guys, anything else? Sir, TV, Abhilash is asking, could you revisit index cluster? अभी 4 बज गया यार. Yeah, we can try. Let us first try to close this session in fact, in case anybody has any. Please share setting for micro cap and gold bees. सर गोल्ड बीस के चक्कर में मत पड़ो, उसमें अच्छे रिजल्ट नहीं आते हैं. We should use mid small cap 400 as index indicator. Yes, Aziz, you understood it correct. आवाज नहीं आ रही सर, अभी आप जो भी बोल रहे हो.
मन ने हला दिया ना, तू हला होगा.
हाँ. Yes. Hello.
I think he was talking some personal matter, I guess.
Ignore.
Me? No.
No, the other person.
हो गया होगा.
ठीक है.
Subodh, my question is like, so it's for index investing. So say like I got entry on Friday. I have invested in liquid base. I have to move it to index. So, but it will take T+2 days, right, for index one. So how it can be managed?
Yeah, that's a good question, and that's what I said, right? Uh, do not get infatuated too much about the performance numbers. These things are called slippage, and those things will be there. Okay. So maybe strictly the strategy is giving you 20%, maybe you would be clocking 19% like that. So those kind of things will happen.
Okay.
We have to live with it. Every trader has to live with that. उसका कुछ
Yeah, yeah, but I was trying that in with ETF. At least I can able to get the 80% of the capital on the same day. I'm trying to.
ETF there are two problems with the ETF. First of all is the liquidity, right? लिक्विडिटी बहुत पुअर है इंडिया में. जो अल्फा 50 ETF है, दैट्स लिक्विडिटी इज वेरी वेरी पुअर, सो आई विल नॉट रियली सजेस्ट दैट. Second thing is, in the case of ETF, na, the intraday volatility is very high. Although you can manage it, something is called indicative NAV, which continuously gets updated on the respective mutual fund website, ETF website. So if you can manage to the limit order, it is okay. But again, when the exit signal is coming, you want to come out exactly, then the liquidity can be an issue. So yeah, these things are there. If you can manage. So for example, let's say Kotak Alpha liquidity around 50 lakhs. If you want to invest like 50,000, 1 lakh, I think then it is okay. But you want to have some serious money, then it is not advisable. Sagarika, which index to use as a base index? I told now, mid small 400. When we get, because this whole strategy depends on that signal. हाँ यार, करता हूँ कुछ उसका उससे. Give me some time. I'm a working professional. Difficult to make out time, but I'll do it. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, sir.
Quick question, Subodh. Sorry. The backtest result you showed, was it based on Andrew Klinov or is it based on the
कौन सा वाला एक मिनट.
RS,
ये वाला. ये
the
ये
one
this one.
before this?
This one.
Yeah,
नहीं,
correct.
ये no.
This,
This is not anti-cleaver. This is simple dual ETR on this index.
right. Right. So, if you don't mind, just generally from your experience, amongst the multiple ways of ranking the or identifying the stock,
Hmm.
Andrew Klinov is better or IBD is better?
Sir, I telling you, more or less doesn't matter. ठीक है. As I shown in this example, Nazar, when market is in uptrend, everything is moving. When it is in downtrend, everything is going down. So, in fact, if you read the Andrew Kleno book also, somewhere there also he has shown that, a monkey throwing dice and selecting the stock, even that performs well. So don't worry about that, sir. Don't worry about that, sir. Whatever the momentum ranking you are comfortable, you use. Only the thing is use uh, some uh, some medium term like 3 to 6 months. You will do fine. सबके मोमेंटम में वही स्टॉक आते हैं.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, even if you let's say want to choose one of those, I think one is the sharp ratio based and this cleaner based. I think that should work better because maybe you will have the lesser volatility. Okay? ऐसा होगा. So you can read the book Quantitative Momentum also. I think there he mentions couple of strategies like frog in the pan and sharp ratio based or something like that. So those two books you can see stocks on the move and quantitative momentum. And there is another famous
Mm.
book called Weekend Trend Trader. So that also you can explore.
So we can also try sharp as well, right? Like
Yes, yes,
Andrew,
you
that's
can.
what.
Yes,
Okay.
you can do. You can. Yeah.
Yeah, Vasant, yeah, again. I have a question. Like, so, say, like, in index is given the exit signal. So, is it possible to buy futures like for the downside and continue your this strategy?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Please repeat.
No, like, so when the index gives exit, normally we move to liquid base, right?
Uh-huh.
So, can we go to stocks short
No, no,
using?
no, 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 no. Please don't. This strategy doesn't work that way. And unless you are very seasoned trader, you uh, see for most of the people, answer will be strictly no. Strictly no. Two things. One important thing is first of all, these down moves are very sharp, and their short covering is usually fast. So I have run many course, lot of programs I have run, and my conclusion is that at least I couldn't figure out there is a consistent way to make the money by shorting the stocks. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Shorting, please don't do. Please don't do. One thing you can do, if you really want to do something like आज कुछ तूफानी करते हैं, you can explore using the MTF with this strategy. But there also, I will say, do not use more than 2x margin. Not more than that. I think broker will give you up to 4x margin. Please don't use that. Not more than 2x margin. But again, I will say for 99% people, I will not suggest doing that. So क्योंकि उसमें जो drawdowns even with this strategy can go as high as 40%, 45%, and you really need a strong heart to continue in that condition. And with the 4x margin, the drawdown can go like 80-85%. Yeah, the results are fantastic. You get the 200% CAGR. But what if some black swan event happen and your account is wiped out in a click? तो छोटे मोटा पैसा लगा के आप देख सकते हो. Maybe 5% money put in the MTF style and just see how does it go. MTF में दूसरा problem भी है कि not all the stocks will have the MTF. Yesterday I was seeing, so among the top 50 momentum stocks, not more than 20 stocks has the MTF facility. So there also the limitation comes. Yeah. Yeah, don't use the leverage as of now. I don't use. Can you show the main strategy condition slide? अच्छा. हाँ. Yeah, take the snapshot if you want. Okay, Praveen, welcome. How to detect choppy, stagnant market and avoid entries at no? There is no way, Vasant. There is no way. We have to we have to take that pain because you do not know at what moment it will start into the bull cycle. There is no way. I mean, someone on the Twitter suggested me that. So my answer is that I want to have a very very simple strategy in place. I want to have the least number of variables in the system, because the more number of variables, you do not know in a certain scenario how those variables will work. So I'm operating with just two variables. That's why just two ATR. That's all. And when the historically it says you are getting 28% CAGR and worst drawdown of 13-14%, I think uh, I don't see there is any point of putting more effort there. Design filters, right? Okay. Okay. Any other question, guys? Sagarka asking, sir, suppose this Friday we got buy signal on index, then buy. What's the confusion? Anybody has any confusion or question on the strategy rules, entry, exit, position sizing, exit signal and all? No, there is no mid small cap 400 index available. There is no. So for that, if you are interested in the index investing, how to trail Abhilash, I explained, right? Okay, I think maybe I'll explain it again. Okay, fine. Let's say. Ah, okay. Let us see this example. You get entry signal here. ठीक है, यहाँ पे the close was higher than green, buy, you bought it. Then next Friday you check the close. So once you have bought the position, you don't look at the green signal anymore. Forget about that. Then you just follow the red signal, sell ATR. Next Friday you noticed close is above red, you don't do anything. Another next Friday again you see close is above red, you don't do anything. This is called trailing. So every week, what will happen because of this dual ATR indicator, the red line will keep shifting. Okay, so that is where you don't do anything. अभी जैसे इसमें अपार में बताता हूँ, ये अपार में तो नेक्स्ट पे ही आ गया था. जैसे ये लेट्स टेक दिस एग्जांपल, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस वन. So you entered here, right? This was the 31st March. You entered here because close was higher than green, that is buy ATR, you bought it. With respect to the red, that is sell ATR, you did the position sizing. Then every week you are checking. Every Friday you are checking where is the close price. So till this week, close was higher than red. So this is called you were trailing. Okay? And then next week it closes below the red, you exit. Dual ATR, someone asked what was that? Dual ATR indicator is available in ME broker or is this custom code? Yeah, this is my code. This is my code, Mr. Srinivas. Please show the dual ATR slide. ये कौन सा वाला है? ये वाला? What is dual ATR? अच्छा ये कुछ नहीं है. Slide 26 is but people are joining even after 2 hours. Okay, guys. Anyone has got any other question? We spent like 2 hours, close to 2 hours. Okay, how many of you want to go through that index system? Because last time some people were not able to join. Can there be any poll in this thing?
We can raise a hand.
ये कितने लोग हैं? काउंट कैसे किया? अच्छा हाँ, 4 लोग हो गए। 4, प्लीज रेंज द हैंड्स। इफ देयर इज अ गुड नंबर देन विल सी। 11, 11, 12, who else? 16, good, good. 15, 16, yeah. 17. At least the count should go half, yeah. 17. Who else want to continue? 16. Prashant Kulkarni, do we know each other?
Just I pinged you on the Twitter, Subodh. I think last after your first session, I pinged you about that. Even on the Portfolio Yoga Slack channel, so I just pinged you post your session. That's how we know each other.
Okay. Okay, so we will take like 5-minute break, kind of. Huh?
Sure.
है ना? Give me 5-minute break. You guys also take 5-minute break.
So Subbo, this will be recap of the previous session.
Yes, yes.
Okay.